Yeah, I figured I could do this because this is our new studio made up in my wonderful attic here. As you can see, we got all kinds of interesting things spread about here, keeping the spirit of things. Cauldrons, coffins, pumpkins, whatever. So we'll set this sucker up here because we're getting close to the Halloween season, so to speak. Sitting myself in the middle of all this mess here, which I should, because, you know, Halloween for a lot of us is a special time. I can wax nostalgic about this because as a kid growing up in the 50s, I gotta get some fortification here, sorry. Hopefully my next video I'll actually have fucking teeth in my head. But going back when I was a kid, and anybody my age will remember this, of course I gotta mention my fucking old age again, I'm 67. Back then, Halloween was a unique experience for us little kids, and everybody got these store-bought costumes. I remember my first costume was Felix the Cat. And all these store-bought costumes had a rather unique smell to them. Might have been because maybe they weren't fireproofed or whatever, but they all had a unique smell to them. I can't describe the smell, but anyone my age, older, younger a couple years would remember that smell. Back then, you know, you would get taken out to trick-or-treat by your parents when you were younger. Being that I had this Felix the Cat store-bought costume, my mother noticed there was something horribly missing from it, a tail. So she made this big tail out of something that was out of black fabric stuffed with something. And that's the way I went out. Now, as we got older, you know, and again, let me emphasize something else. You could go out trick-or-treating and you weren't assaulted, you weren't mugged, nothing was happening. You could go out in your own neighborhood and nothing would happen to you because everybody knew you. And you go to other neighborhoods and nothing would happen to you because shit like that just didn't happen back then. I don't know where we went fucking wrong with people putting razor blades in apples and fucking with kids and shit, but that's all bullshit. When I got a little older, I'm going to say, you know, 12, 13 years old, the big costume, the easiest costume to make was a bum, a hobo. You'd basically find one of your old man's suit jackets that he wasn't going to use anymore, tear it, some rips in it, get a hat like I usually wear, get some charcoal from the grill, smear it on your face for dirt, and get a pillowcase and you go trick-or-treating. Well, we made a fucking adventure out of the goddamn thing. Because what we did, I can remember this clearly because in the end of the whole deal, we got fucked. Me, my brother, and maybe two of my friends went out starting like 4:30 in the afternoon to one section of the town. And like I said, we had pillowcases and we came back about, I don't know, 6 o'clock with these pillowcases filled to the top. So we dumped them and went to another section of the neighborhood and milked that for a couple hours. And we came back and dumped that load and went out and trick-or-treated till about 9:30. You know, after it got dark, you know, you really couldn't do too much and people were only willing to put up with their doorbells ringing and shit for a certain amount of time. So, alright, so we came back with 3 pillowcases full of candy. Mom and Dad weren't exactly thrilled by that, but my old man had a pharmacy that had a candy counter. So when we woke up the next day to feast on our goodies, there weren't a hell of a lot of them left. They skimmed just about everything they could fucking sell and left us all the penny candy and nickel candy and shit like that. So we sort of got fucked on that deal. Now, the night before Halloween was something called, around my area in New York, New Jersey, it was called Mischief Night. I know out in the Midwest it's called Devil's Night, whatever. But it was really nothing completely malicious. I mean, we soaped up car windows. Yeah, big deal. It was an inconvenience, but we did it. We TP'd trees, another inconvenience that we did it. And the big thing was ringing somebody's doorbell and running around and hide and wait till they come to the door and have a big laugh about that. Of course, that was sort of upgraded years later when you could fill a bag full of dog shit and light it on fire, leave it on somebody's front stoop, and ring their doorbell, and they'd come out and stomp on the fucking bag full of dog shit, only to come away with, you know, shitty shoes. Again, nothing malicious, nothing damaging, like, you know, today things happen. I don't even know if they have a Mischief Night anymore. But the whole point was, at one stage in the 70s, and I think it might have been when Nixon was in charge, that there was sort of a move to outlaw Halloween or make it disappear. I don't really remember what it was all about, but I know there was a move afoot where they had downgraded it. See, another thing, I didn't say this before. Your TV would have specials now, you know, going back into the 60s. TV only ran till 1 o'clock in the morning. But on the off stations, like after 11:30 or whatever, they would run a lot of really obscure horror movies, and to me it was like worth trying to fucking play like you were asleep, then slip down into the living room and watch these things with the sound turned down low, just so you get to see shit like Attack of the Giant Leeches and the Blancheville Monster and whatever. So yeah, that was all going on, but then one little stretch of time, for some reason, it was almost downgraded. There was like nothing fucking happening at all. And like then all of a sudden, like today, it became commercial. It's a big holiday. Unfortunately, I'm just around the corner to my store, and as I'm taping this, it's October 16th. All the Halloween shit's fucking gone. They got Christmas shit out. So it looks like they're shuttling Halloween to the side, or they ran out of stuff, which I can't believe because it's only fucking mid-month here. A lot of us embrace Halloween till this day. A lot of us, you know, being that, you know, we have the whole, you know, digital age where we can watch movies whenever we want. We also have like our 31 days of horror movies and stuff like that, which is all cool. It's a holiday that should be kept alive. But for me, and this might be a little strange, when I was a kid, I would want to be outside when the clock struck midnight, because for whatever reason I felt that that sort of opened the veil between life and death, and people that we had lost were like hanging around and things. And you know, maybe some people don't swallow this, but when I was putting this little set together up here, this witch was a pain in the ass because I had to put its head back on. Well, my first attempt to put its head back on turned out weird because I was downstairs and I heard a fucking thump up here, and I came up and the head was from there over to that corner. And I had screwed this thing in. And I know that someone died in this house before I got it, and there must be a lingering thing. And when I came up here and saw it, I said, under my breath, I said, really, I don't care if you're here, but you know, don't fuck with my shit, because this is the way it's going to be, because this is the set we just built. So, yeah, I always felt that that veil door or whatever opened up, you know, midnight on the 31st, because the next day is All Saints Day, All Souls Day, whatever. So, yeah, I do believe there's something after this. I don't believe it's fucking harps and sitting in the clouds and whatever, or burning forever in fucking hell, but I really know that there's something else after this, and I do understand, and I've had this happen to me several times, that there are lingering spirits around here that are restless and haven't found wherever they want to go or whatever their next incarnation is. So I honestly believe that. But hey, friends, the fans, happy Halloween. Watch some movies, smoke some weed, drink some liquor, and party. Have a good time, because that's what Halloween was about. Halloween was about becoming, you know, what you wanted to be. Play the character you want to play, because for that day and that day only, you could be whatever you wanted to be. You could be Superman. You could be a bum. I was Beast of Blood one year. That's another story where the makeup just refused to come off because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But again, my friends, happy Halloween to you all.